Hi guys, this is Vysh from Vysh IAS and we are going to continue the R.S. Sharma series. We have done up to chapter 9 and this is the chapter 10 which is about the Magadha Empire. Okay, so please watch all the previous chapters because R.S. Sharma is designed in the order of timeline, and so it is very much important that you know what happened before each kind of empire or each kind of religion or something which emerged in the later phase. Okay, so before I start the chapter, I would like to tell you that the test series is launched and you can buy them. The link will be given in the description box. Please click on that and watch the video which will explain and answer almost all the questions, all the queries which you have regarding a test series. Okay, because I have been getting queries in the Facebook, that is why I decided to make that video. And the students who used to buy individual PDFs, individual subjects, now they have opted for the entire subject list also. So I am very much happy that students are liking the quality. So those who have never seen any of our PDFs or MCQs, please watch any of our lecture, because after every lecture we pick up 2-3 questions from our test series and then show it to you. So at the end of this video also there will be 2-3 MCQs, but don't depend on only this. There is a playlist also which has MCQs of every chapter. Okay, I think 5 to 6 videos explaining MCQs from every chapter is there. So please watch that playlist also. And but first watch the link given in the description. Okay, so now we'll start this chapter 10, which is the Magadha Empire. This is going to be a little bit boring kind of chapter because it has a lot of names, lot of kingdom names, and people names are there. So you have to just understand the story and then try to make a little bit of notes. Okay, in the pointers just make notes, and just before prelims try to revise it, because we are going to see a lot of kingdom names, the Mahajanapadas which we call. So from the 6th century BC, the widespread use of iron in eastern Uttar Pradesh and western Bihar facilitated the formation of large territorial states. Because of iron weapons, the warrior class now played an important role. The new agricultural tools and implements enabled the peasants to produce far more food grains than required for consumption. So now the iron is very much in use, iron weapons, and so agriculture is also flourishing. And if you see the Vedic age, earlier Vedic age and all, people were only growing crops for their own sustenance, but they did not have much to even give taxes, or they did not have much to store in granaries and all. But now it is increasing and it is expanding. So obviously the prince and kings will take the taxes also, and they will expand their kingdom, their army, their military administration, everything. So that is how the new kingdoms are coming into existence. Okay, that is the gist of this whole paragraph. So large states, we have already seen what is called Janapada, that is Jana means the group of people and Janapada means that entire territory. Okay, so that entire place now it even got together, like coalition happened, and later it is called Mahajanapadas. So mainly in the age of Buddha, that is the timeline of Buddha, 16 large Mahajanapadas were there, and these are the important names. Okay, Magadha, Kosala, Vatsa, Avanti, these are all important names of few of the Mahajanapadas. Okay, that area is around the northwestern frontier to the Bihar. Okay, that is the Ganga belt, you can tell. That is the place where these kingdoms were flourishing. Now beginning from the east, we hear of the kingdom of Anga, which covered the modern districts of Monghya and Bhakalpur. It had its capital at Champa, which shows signs of habitations from the 6th century BC. So again the Buddha timeline, they are telling there were kingdoms. Okay, Anga is also one name, Anga, Magadha and all. So you should know Magadha is just one of the Mahajanapadas, but it is the most famous one before the Mauryas. Okay, Mauryans. That is why it is very important. Magadha is an empire, one of the empire. Now Magadha embraced the modern districts of Patna, Gaya, and parts of Shahabad, and grew to be the leading state of the time. North of the Ganga, in the division of the Tirut, was the state of Vajis, which included 8 clans. Okay, Vajis included 8 clans. But the most powerful were the Lichavis. Lichavis we saw in the Jainism chapter, that is the mother of Mahavira was from Lichavi clan. Okay, so Lichavi, their capital is at Vaishali. Okay, so Lichavi, Vaishali, Vajis. Try to remember all these things, which is identical with the village of Basar in the district of Vaishali. The Puranas pushed the antiquity of Vaishali to a much earlier period, but archaeologically Basar was not settled earlier than 6th century BC. So archaeological remains is telling one timeline, but the Puranas is telling different timeline. Okay, that happens with every kingdom that we'll see. Now further west we find the kingdom of Kashi with its capital at Varanasi. Okay, Kashi capital is Varanasi, and Vaishali is the capital of Lichavi. Okay, you should know these kind of things. Now excavations at Rajgarh shows that the earliest habitation started around 700 BC. Okay, this exact timeline of each and everything you don't need to learn. It is very tough also to learn, so don't do it. But you should know an overall story. And here they're telling about Ayodhya. Ayodhya, you know, the city of Ramayana. Ayodhya is very important. It's in news also. So the city which is involved in Ramayana story, that is also one of the flourishing cities or kingdoms, you can tell. This is the map which you can pause and see. I don't want to do much because in NCRT class 6 I already shown you a lot of maps. Kosala also included the tribal republican territory of Sakyas of Kapilavastu, the birthplace of the Buddha. Okay, So birthplace of the Buddha is the Sakya Kapilavastu region. Okay, so you should know this is also a Mahajanapada. The capital of Kapilavastu had been identified with Piparva in Basti district, but Lumbini, which lies at the distance of 15 km from Piparva in Nepal, served as another capital of the Sakya. So the Sakya has two capitals they are telling. Okay, this is Lumbini and Piprava. Okay, not very important, but I'm just reading it out. In the neighborhood of Kosala lay the Republican clan of the Mallas, whose territory touched the northern border of the Vaji state. One of the capitals of the Mallas lay at Kusinara, where Gautam Buddha passed away. Last chapter we learned it. Okay, he passed away at this particular place at the age of 80. Okay, so just do one thing, just make a note of this 3 city names, 3 or 4 city names I am telling, and against it write the capital name. Then just before prelims just revise it. There is nothing much rocket science here, just by hearting the names only. Okay, further west of the kingdom of the Vatsas, along the banks of the Yamuna with its capital at Kasaumbi, again capital city, okay, Kasaumbi. The Vatsas were a Kuru clan who had shifted from Hastinapura and settled down at Kasaumbi near Allahabad. Kasaumbi was chosen because it was situated near the confluence of the Ganga and the Yamuna river. Okay, so that is why that city was chosen. In the 6th century BC, it had a strong fortified capital, as can be gathered from excavations. We also hear of the older states of the Kurus and the Panchalas, which were situated in the western Uttar Pradesh, but they no longer enjoyed the political importance because they had attained in the later Vedic period. Okay, so these people are losing their relevance in the Mahajanapada period. You know, Kurus and Panchalas we have seen after the battle of 10 kings during the time of Aryans. The Bharata clan will join hands with Purus, and then they will form the Kurus, and this Kurus in the Kurukshetra region, they will join with the Panchalas and form the kingdom. So that was one old one, but now it is losing relevance. That is what they are telling here. Now, in central Malwa and adjoining part of Madhya Pradesh lay the state of Avantis. Okay, it was divided into two parts. The northern part has its capital at Ujjain. So Ujjain is the capital of Avantis, and the southern part is Mahishmati. Mahishmati you would have heard in the Bahubali movie. Okay, so this is that place. Okay, Avanti, Mahishmati, Ujjain, these are all near the Malwa. Okay, Madhya Pradesh region. Excavations show that both these towns became fairly important from the 6th century BC onwards, though eventually Ujjain surpassed Mahishmati. Okay, so two regions they are telling, Ujjain and Mahishmati, and they're doing a comparison there. It developed large scale working in iron and erected strong fortifications. So they had strong fortification. Okay, Ujjain. The political history of India from the 6th century BC onwards is the history of the struggle between these states for supremacy. Ultimately, the kingdom of Magadha emerged to be the most powerful and succeeded in founding an empire. So all these small kingdoms which we saw, Avanti, Ujjain, Kosala, all these people were fighting with each other. Finally, Magadha became the most stronger one and emerged as an empire. Now, Magadha, the leader was Bimbisara. Okay, Bimbisara was the most important leader of Magadha Empire. He belonged to the Haryanka dynasty. The dynasty name, exact dynasty name is Haryanka dynasty. He was a contemporary of the Buddha. Okay, he started the policy of conquest and aggrandizement which ended the Kalinga war of Ashoka. Okay, that means the war process started with Bimbisara and will end with Ashoka. Ashoka will come later in the Mauryan phase only, but that is how the war span happened, okay, of the Magadha Empire. Bimbisara started it, Ashoka ended it. Bimbisara acquired Anga and placed it under the viceroyalty of Ajatashatru at Champa, and he also strengthened his position by marriage alliances. So war was one method of expanding the territory, and marriage alliance was another thing. Okay, his first wife was the daughter of king of Kosala and sister of Parasan. Not very important. The Kosala bride brought him a dowry, a Kasi village. So places were being exchanged in the form of dowry. Okay, so Bimbisara, Ajatashatru. Okay, two names you should know, Ajatashatru and Bimbisara. Later similar names will come. Okay, Amoga Varsha will come in Rashtrakuta dynasty, and also you should know these kind of names, who is related to which dynasty at least, because the timeline chronology is some question which UPSC repeatedly asked, and the capital cities also. So Bimbisara and Ajatashatru is Magadhan rulers. The Kosalan bride is the one who came in at the time of this person, Ajatashatru, and the marriage brought off the hostility of Kosala and gave him a free hand in dealing with other states. His second wife, again some Lichavi princess, telling again daughter of some chief in Punjab. So across India, these people are going and marrying and getting more and more places in the form of dowry. Magadha's most serious rival was Avanti. Avanti we saw, capital Ujjain. Its king Chandra Mahasena fought Bimbisara, but ultimately the two thought it wise to become friends. So they had war issues, but finally again some marriage alliance or something will happen, and they will again have friendly relations. Okay, that is what they are telling. Ujjain Avanti versus Magadha. And Bimbisara sent the royal physician Jivaka to Ujjain. some stories. Okay, Bimbisara is also said to have received an embassy and a letter from the ruler of Gandhara, from which with which Pradyota had fought unsuccessfully. So through his conquest and diplomacy, Bimbisara made Magadha the paramount power in the 6th century BC. His kingdom is said to have consisting of 80,000 villages, which is a conventional number. So it was a huge kingdom under Magadha Empire. They are telling they had marriage alliances, they had war. Okay, that is the gist. The earlier capital of Magadha was at Rajgir, which was called Girivraja at that time. Okay, so it's an old name of Rajgir. So in UPSC, if they pick up this thing and ask what it is the capital city of Magadha, Rajgir city. Okay, it was surrounded by the 5 hills, the opening in which were closed by stone walls on all sides. This made Rajgir impregnable. So okay, so this place was in between or in the center of 5 hills. That is why it was selected as a capital. So people cannot approach it or attack it very easily. Again, Buddhist chronicles are telling more about Bimbisara, who ruled for 52 years. So might be exaggerated, but that is how it is. Bimbisara, and then followed by Ajatasattu in 492 to 460 BC, and he killed his own father actually. So the Bimbisara, who ruled 52 years, he was actually killed by his son, and that is how Ajatasattu became a king. His reign saw the high watermark of the Bimbisara dynasty. He fought 2 wars and made preparation for the 3rd. Throughout his reign, he pursued an aggressive policy of expansion. Thus provoked against him a combination of Kasi and Kosala. There began a prolonged conflict between Magadha and Kosala. So again, war. Don't have to worry too much. I'm reading very fast because I don't feel any importance. If there is a point for prelims, I'll pause and tell you one more time. That's all. So again, these people had all these things, different kingdoms, not very important. Ajatasattu faced a strong rival in the ruler of Avanti. Again, they had conflict with Avanti. Same like Bimbisara had, Ajatasattu also had. And after this, succeeded by Udayin. Okay, so Bimbisara, Ajatasattu, and the 3rd one is Udayin. Okay, this is the 3 kings of the Magadha Empire. Why he is important? Because he built the fort upon the confluence of the Ganga and the Son at Patna. Okay, Son, you know, it's a tributary of Ganga. So Ganga and Son confluence, there was a fort built by this person, Udayin. This was done because Patna lay in the center of the Magadhan kingdom, which now extended from the Himalayas in the north to the hills of Chota Nagpur in the south. So they had a very huge kingdom. Now Patna's position, as we'll see later, was crucially strategic. Udayin was succeeded by the dynasty of Shishunaga. So now after the Magadha Empire, the next empire, important empire, is Shishunagas. Okay, Shishunagas, who temporarily shifted the capital to Vaishali. So you know the capital was like Rajgir or Patna during the time of Magadha Empire. But after that, when the Shishunaga dynasty came after Udayin, they shifted the capital temporarily to Vaishali. Okay, their greatest achievement was the destruction of the power of Avanti with its capital Ujjain. So this Shishunagas achievement is they came and destroyed Avanti. Okay, the capital city Ujjain. This brought an end of the 100-year-old rivalry between Magadha and Avanti. From now onwards, Avanti became a part of Magadhan Empire. So it became like a sub kingdom or sub region under the Magadhan Empire, and it continued till the Mauryan rule. Mauryan rule we'll see later. Now after the Shishunagas, the next kingdom is Nandas. It is very, very important, this Nanda dynasty. Okay, the most important king is Mahapadmananda. We'll see it here. Okay, Mahapadmananda, because he was a very strong ruler. After Bimbisara and Ajatasattu, if any strong ruler you can tell about Magadha, it is this Mahapadmananda of Nanda dynasty. Okay, so even Alexander actually feared entering into India because of the strong army which these people had. Okay, this Mahapadmananda had. Here it's mentioned they were fabulously rich and enormously powerful. 2 lakh infantry, 60,000 cavalry, 6,000 war elephants. Such a huge army could be maintained only through an effective taxation system. It was because of these considerations that Alexander did not advance against them. Okay, so this is about the Nanda dynasty. So you should know Magadha, Shishunaga, and then Nanda dynasty. After Nanda only, Chandragupta Maurya will come and then defeat this person and then become or make the Mauryan Empire with the help of Kautilya. That we'll see in the later chapters. Okay. The later Nandas turned out to be weak and unpopular. Okay, that's how Mauryan came. I told you same thing. Now causes of Magadha's success. Okay, now you know till now early Vedic period and all there was no such successful kingdom. So how come Magadha became so successful? That is the reason they are giving here under this paragraph. So Magadha, like the Iranian Empire was like contemporary. Okay, they were also expanding at that time in the western side of the world. So the formation of the largest state in India during this period was the work of several enterprising and ambitious rulers such as Bimbisara, Ajatasattu, and Mahapadmananda. They employed all means fair and foul at their disposal to enlarge this kingdom. So they had effective rulers. That is one reason. Then Magadha enjoyed the advantageous geographical position. Okay, because iron ore, iron mines were there nearby, right? Because they are in the Ganga basin, obviously near the Ranchi, Jharkhand area. You know, now we have all these iron ore mines and coal mines and all those things. So that is why, that is second reason. Okay, mineral deposits, strong leaders. Now after that, so they had all these weapons also because they had the minerals. Then Magadha enjoyed certain other advantages. The two capital cities of Magadha, that is the first at Rajgir and the second at Patliputra, were situated at a very strategic points. Okay, Rajgir was surrounded by a group of 5 hills, I already told you, so it is not able to attack them easily. And then it was shifted to Patliputra, which occupied a pivotal position, commanding communication on all sides. Okay, the Patliputra, they had these rivers. Okay, Ganga, Gandak, Son, and Sarayu. Okay, GGSS, Ganga, Gandak, Son, Sarayu, all in 4 directions. So it was easy to move their fleet. They can move their army or move their goods, anything they can move very easily. So Patliputra was also having a strategical position. So 3 reasons we saw: strong leaders, mineral deposits, and the location of their capital cities. These were 3 important reasons for success of the Magadhan Empire. Okay. And again they are telling some water fort. Jaladurga means water fort. Okay, near Patliputra. Then Magadha lay at the center of the middle of Gangatic plain. Again, Gangatic plain, fertile land, cleared agriculture, alluvium soil. That's all geography part, you know, very easy to write such a point. Okay. Then far more productive because of the same reason. Prince of Magadha also benefited from the rise of towns in the use of coins. On account of trade and commerce in Northeast India, the prince could levy tolls on the sale of commodities. Okay. Again, toll collection, efficient taxation system. You have seen all these things. And Magadha enjoyed a special advantage in military organizations. Although the Indian states were well acquainted with the use of horses and chariots, it was Magadha which first used elephants. Okay, the first usage of elephants in wars. Okay, it's not like elephants are known first, but it is used in war for the first time by the Magadha. We know even Harappas knew about the elephants. Okay, so you should know that fact. Eastern part of the country could supply elephants to the princes of Magadha, and we learned from the Greek sources that the Nanda maintained 6,000 elephants. Elephants could be used in storming fortresses and in marching over marshy and other areas lacking roads and means of communication. So any terrain, whatever is the war front, these people can use elephants and march forward. Okay, so that is also one important reason. Then Orthodox, Brahmanas, it underwent a happy racial admixture on account of the advent of the Vedic people. Since it was recently Hellenized, it showed more enthusiasm for expansion than the kingdoms which had been brought under the Vedic influence earlier. On account of all these reasons, Magadha succeeded in defeating the other kingdoms surrounding the empire. So again, same thing they are telling the Magadhan society. Okay, unorthodox people they were. It was inhabited by the Kiratas and Magadhas, who were held in low esteem by the orthodox Brahmanas, but it underwent a happy racial admixture on account of the advent of the Vedic people. Since it was recently Hellenized, it showed more enthusiasm for expansion than the kingdoms which had been brought under the Vedic influence earlier. So people were more happy and flourishing under these people. Okay, compared to the Brahman rules or Vedic orthodox beliefs. Okay, that is also one reason they're telling. So this, I think 4 to 5 points you would have got at least for the success of Magadha, because mains question has come in the past, why Magadha Empire flourished. Okay, so you should know that. Now try to answer these questions, but I'll show you MCQs anyway, which is more important for your prelims. So first question: out of 16 Mahajanapadas in ancient India, 2 are currently in Pakistan, present day Pakistan. It's not directly mentioned in the textbook, but try to find the location. That is why I asked you this question. Okay. So one is Gandhara, they're telling in the question itself. One is Gandhara, which one is the other one, which is in Pakistan? Kamboja, Asmaka, Matsya Surasena, Avanti, and Chedi. Okay, so 2-3 places I would have already showed you in this lecture itself. So try to find out which is in Pakistan other than Gandhara. Okay. Second question: which are the following are true with respect to ancient empires which ruled Magadha? Okay, all the old empires. The act of major wars started with Bimbisara and ended with Ashoka. Nanda dynasty had a huge army which even caused fear in Alexander the Great to approach East India. Magadha kings expanded their kingdoms with wars as well as marriage alliances. Ajatasattu killed his own father Bimbisara to come to power. Okay, now this question might be very easy because I have explained all these statements already to you. But in the actual exam, what they'll do is they'll replace this Ajatasattu with Amogha Varsha or something. Okay, and instead of Bimbisara, they'll put Bindusara. And you will immediately think like, it's correct, I read something like this. So that is why when you learn all the chapters, you have to do test series. So please buy our test series. Okay, I'll show you one more question from the same topic. Sulkadyaksha in the Buddha age refers to. This thing is actually coming up in I think the 11th or 12th chapter, but because it's related to Buddha age, I wanted to ask you if you know the answer, tell in comment section, or anyway I'll be covering it in one of the lecture in the same textbook. Okay. So is it a judicial officer, is it chief accountant, toll collectors, revenue administrator? What is Sulkadyaksha in the Buddha age referred to? So buy the test series, watch the video in the description given below. That is what you need to do next after you finish your preparation, and get it soon because I will be hiking the price after 2 weeks. Okay, so till I come with the next video, thank you, enjoy your day, enjoy learning.